Leke leke gbami leke, eya daba gbami leke. Leke leke gbami leke, eya daba gbami leke. Leke leke. Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Joining us now with stories trending around the world is Vimbai Mutinhiri Ekpenyong. Good to see you, Vimbai.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Rufai.
Is it safe to say happy Leke Leke Day?
Happy Leke Leke Day.
Leke.
TGIL. Thank God it's Leke Leke Day.
When I greet you, when I shake, you say Leke. You say Leke. Oh yeah, Leke.
Leke. Freedom.
Leke.
Leke.
Leke. Leke leke gbami leke.
For such a great day.
Over to you, Vimbai.
Yes, of course. I mean, the cat is out of the bag. Leke Leke, as you've seen in the promos, is going to be available from this evening. So make sure you head to your iStore, if you're on Android as well, and download, and let's get into the conversation. As the promotion said, freedom is the underlying theme around Africa and the world's latest social media platform. Well, let's kick off what's trending as we begin in Lagos State. As the Lagos State Police Command on Thursday arraigned activist Comrade Hassan Taiwo, popularly known as Soweto, alongside Dele Frank before the Yaba Chief Magistrate's Court over their alleged roles in a protest against illegal demolitions, forcible evictions and land grabbing at the Lagos State House of Assembly. The defendants were charged with 5 counts bordering on conspiracy, conduct likely to cause a breach of the peace, threats, unlawful assembly, obstruction of traffic, and singing abusive songs against the police and the Lagos State government. The charge for singing abusive songs reads, and I quote, "That you, Taiwo Hassan, aka Soweto Dele Frank, male, and others still at large on the 20th day of January 2026 at Ikeja, Allen Avenue, Alausa, and the House of Assembly premises, Lagos, within the aforementioned magisterial district, did sing abusive songs against the police and the Lagos State government with intent to provoke and tarnish the image of the Lagos State government, and thereby committed an offence punishable under Section 57C of the Criminal Law of Lagos State of Nigeria, 2015. Well, Comrade Damiloju, who is an associate of Hassan Soweto, has shared a harrowing account of what Soweto says he endured while in police custody, alleging forced abduction into police custody, and that was before he was beaten by several officers.
Enough is enough. We can't continue to have peace. There cannot be any peace where there's no justice. And I was at the court myself today. They were ready to grab me back. If not because of, the intervention of the court, and also the document of comrades and our lawyer in that venue. There were more than 50 officers at Yaba Magistrate Court today. I was there myself. On top waiting, on top peaceful protests against illegal demolition and wickedness.
Well, of course, we know that both activists have since been released on 200,000 naira bail each, and the case has been adjourned to March 3rd, 2026. The Lagos State Police Command do insist that nobody was harmed throughout the process that we saw with regards to arresting those who were involved in the protests. But these are some of the accounts coming from the activists who were involved. Let me start with you, Ayo.
All right, we're supposed to actually have Comrade Soweto today, but he had to go to court this morning for his bail, to perfect his bail. So hopefully we'll get to hear from him. But there's a detailed statement by Assistant Executive Director, Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa, Zikora Ibe, that was circulated, that was sent yesterday, and it details the harrowing, almost unbelievable experience that Comrade Hassan Soweto endured in the hands of the police. And he actually mentioned very specifically the Commissioner of Police in Lagos State. I say this because in our report of what happened, the Commissioner of Police clearly stated on our channel, that no one was harmed. They didn't fire live bullets. And I asked, they said no. In actual fact, they didn't fire live bullets, but people were harmed. In fact, some people had to go to the hospital. And I think what's concerning is the treatment method by the police. According to these statements, they can come out to refute it or present their own side of the case. But they said that a number of policemen beat him up so badly that they had to introduce a medical professional to want to inject him and give him medication against his consent, and he had to speak out about it and say that if she did, he would report her to a professional organization. These are grave allegations, especially on the back of this constant fight against police brutality and respect for human rights by the police. It would be very sad to see that we're going back or reversing to the dark days whereby we see police officers resisting a constitutionally guaranteed right to protest by actually harming those who protested. The matter is in court. The court would oversee this matter, but I think very importantly is the focus on how the police engage with civilians when it comes to matters of protest. They continue to maintain that they were peaceful. In fact, at the point when the police accosted them, they had asked them to sit down to enjoy some refreshments. And so this is quite sad, and I believe that the police owe Nigerians an explanation, and if there are any erring officers, whether on the orders of authorities high up, there needs to be consequences for that. We must protect the rights of citizens in Nigeria. We must. It must not be a clash between the police and Nigerians. We must not be afraid to go out and protest peacefully as Nigerians.
And Dr. Abati, what of these charges around singing abusive songs? What does this mean?
No. You can use song as protest. After all, the exemplary thing about Fela was the use of song as protest. That is recognized in performance theory. It's artistic freedom. It's also freedom of expression. However, what the charge was saying is that they were using the songs to incite the public and also to tarnish the image of the state government. So nobody is going to charge you for singing. The thing is what that song is likely to do. And then the other issues about conspiracy, the other issue about breach of public peace, the other thing about, just discussing disturbance. However, those 5 count charges, they have the right to self-defense. And that is the point made by their counsel, that's Femi Falana, SAN, who went to court this morning to even enforce their fundamental human rights, to say, look, they have the freedom of assembly and they have the freedom of expression. And it was on that basis that the magistrate had no other option but to grant them, bail. The bail is a temporary relief. It doesn't mean that the matter has ended. So that's why the case has now been adjourned. However, what is important, what many people will expect, is that the basic issue at the bottom of it, the demolition of illegal structures, the expectations of the persons affected in different parts of Lagos, the argument of the Lagos state government, all of this will be the things that the court will inquire into. And at the end of the day, Nigerians will continue, of course, to insist on the right to protest, the right to freedom of assembly, the right to the freedom of expression. On the balance of that scale, the court will then take a decision. But I don't think that they have not committed a crime by demonstrating. They have not committed any crime by protesting. So,
Rufai, I definitely want your take, yes.
You expecting the police to do better in a protest is like you expecting too much. The police are not cultured and trained to be able to handle protests effectively. We have to teach them. And the police is also very hypocritical. You see, this same police, and I look at it and laugh, this same police that came to people like us in the media when they demolished their own police quarters here in Ikoyi, is the same police that is beating and harassing people because they came to protest their own demolition. You can see how they are very hypocritical. They say they sang abusive songs. So it's the song that is paying you for body now. They say the song is inciting. What about the ones the politicians sing on the political rally? It's not inciting enough. Is it not here we were that the police commissioner was defending somebody that was saying something denigrating against another tribal group in this country? Yashukudi. So was that not inciting enough? But the police then came out to defend them. So I will keep pointing out their hypocrisy. We don't have a normal country. The day we have a normal country, Vimbai, less of our worst trending. We'll take less stories on worst trending. The country as we speak today is not normal. It's the country for the biggest power, those that are high and mighty, and they subjugate the rest of others. Police, don't worry. Keep harassing people. Maybe they will do something to you. You come and meet us, the press, to speak for you. We will speak for you because that's our role. It's not today. Didn't they demolish your own property here in Ikoyi? Didn't you come and meet us?
Well,
move on to next.
In a case of what many are feeling is a differential treatment for the high and mighty from the common man, a federal high court sitting in Abuja has granted permission to a former governor of Kogi State, Hajj Yahaya Bello, to travel to Saudi Arabia to perform the 2026 Lesser Hajj. Justice Emeka Nuite on Thursday ordered the temporary release of Bello's international passport, which had been in the custody of the court, to enable him undertake the religious exercise. Bello is currently standing trial in an EFCC case over an alleged 80.2 billion naira money laundering and misappropriation charge, which he has denied. The former governor intends to observe the last 10 days of Ramadan in the Holy Land, Saudi Arabia. His previous request to travel for medical reasons had been denied. Now you can only imagine that people on X and various other social media platforms had a lot to say. Let's take some of that feedback. On X, Scood said the craziest part was the fact that this person evaded arrest multiple times, and at one point a siege was laid on him by the EFCC to arrest him, yet the same man was allowed to travel abroad. No sane judge should permit him to travel because he's clearly a flight risk. Well, Ali Wan had a different view. He said whether Yahaya Bello travels is a matter for the court, not public sentiment. If there's no valid court order restricting him, allowing travel isn't a scandal, it's due process. The EFCC should be allowed to do its job, and the courts should handle conditions like that without public misinterpretation or selective outrage.
You see, it just shows the kind of... You see, that's why I say the country is not normal. The judge that granted this, the same Yahaya Bello that resisted arrest multiple times, that made the EFCC do merry-go-round, that Ododo was protecting, that almost his arrest, when they tried arresting him, almost led between a fisticuff between the EFCC officials and the police authorities that were guiding him and Ododo. The same person is being allowed to go to Hajj. So can the Hajj, is it today Yahaya Bello is going to be going to Hajj? If he doesn't go to Hajj, will he die? Most newspapers are not reporting it. Have you seen EFCC, the way they tabled what the evidence of transaction the witness was saying in court yesterday?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't report.
Billion.
And I don't know why people are not reporting all that is going on. Over 100 billion. Our transactions were being made. It was on EFCC's website. And EFCC will criticize you, but when it will join you in the work of fight against corruption, you can see we are joining you, amplifying your story now. See. So while all of this is happening, the judge did not see all the shenanigans in the past. Because this is the same government that is so quick to say, we can't give Nnamdi Kanu bail because he jumped bail at a point. Yahaya Bello that resisted arrest, he must go to Hajj this year. Yahaya Bello that has been going to Hajj all his life, is not Alhaji Yahaya Bello. If he doesn't go to this one, nothing will happen. So he must go. So you see the way we keep deceiving ourselves in this country. That's why the truth is very brutal. So if you can give, Yahaya Bello back his passport to go to Hajj, if people like Emefiele say they want to go to Jerusalem, will you give them their passport back? No, you see the kind of country we live in. It's dirty. The hypocrisy is dirty.
Okay, let me put it like this. It's a trite point of law that a man is considered innocent until proven guilty. He has not, former Governor Yahaya Bello has not been
Convicted.
Classified as guilty. He has not been convicted. And to that extent, he having been granted bail, the court is obliged to continue to respect his fundamental human rights. Number 2 point, bail is granted at the discretion of the court. Now, the reason here is, the only reason it can be taken away is if the court considers the individual a flight risk. Obviously, Justice Emeka Nwite does not consider Yahaya Bello a flight risk. However, there are also safety valves internationally in terms of how, international cooperation with regard to crime and structures that are in place have evolved. That even when a person is given the opportunity to travel, then of course, if the person decides to be a flight risk, those safety valves will kick in. If you run away to anywhere in this world, those safety valves will take you back to go and face justice, or you will face trial where you are, depending on the circumstances. There's something called extraordinary rendition. International Interpol will get you and take you back to that your country, except you don't move around. The third point is that courts have procedures. It is not unusual for a court of law to grant temporary relief and say, okay, you can travel with your international passport. When you come back, you can return it. The court operates on the basis of process, procedure, if you like, not on the basis of mob sentiment. I hope that the day will never come, when the judiciary in Nigeria will take decisions on the basis of what the mob says. That will be mob justice. The procedure will be followed. And I think in this particular case, just the Court of Justice Wite is following basic procedure, and he has not done anything that is unusual. Those are the points in my view.
Well, Kogi State has been a hub of activity. Let's look at what else transpired in Kogi State this week, where youths of the All Progressives Congress, APC, earlier in the week presented a 100 million naira cheque to Governor Ahmed Ododo for the purchase of President Bola Tinubu's 2027 re-election nomination form. Presenting the cheque at the youth's endorsement rally held at the Muhammadu Buhari Square, Lokoja, Babangida Onimisi, president of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, said the decision to buy the form affirmed their endorsement of the president for a second term. However, in a twist of events, core members serving in Kogi State have accused the state National Youth Service Corps, NYSC authorities, of allegedly deceiving them into attending the political rally. Babajide tweeted on X and said, absolutely, donating to a political cause is entirely their prerogative and a reflection of democratic choice in Nigeria's vibrant political landscape. That said, it's worth pondering the optics when Kogi State under Governor Usman Ododo faces ongoing challenges like infrastructure gaps and economic pressures, yet resources are channeled toward national endorsements rather than local delivery. More Dollar also posted and said, when youths crowdfund power for the same system that priced them out of hope, that's not loyalty. That's proof that poverty doesn't just empty pockets, it numbs judgment. All of this just, put aside the fact that there's an ongoing investigation and trial with regards to the abuse of public funds. But the argument, well, they may say they're young people, they can donate to whatever cause they want to, but we wonder,
money to donate?
Well, these are the questions. And if they had money to donate, should it have gone towards a political cause?
Everyone has the right to determine how they want to spend their money. The most important thing is that it's not done under duress and there are no lies around this, which we have now seen that some people are saying, I was not there, they called me for something else, and what I got on ground. But let me examine the reason why they said they were bold enough, or they were encouraged to give their hard-earned 100 million naira towards the campaign of the president, who said, by the way, during the last campaign, his wife had said they don't need Nigerians' money. But what they said that he has done very well for the youth. And in fairness to the president, there are a number of key policies and decisions is made in 2 years that have favored the young people. You can talk about NEL Fund, you can talk about the fact that more people, young Nigerians, have access to tertiary education. You can look at his appointments, and see some critical areas where he's involved more young people in governance. However, the bigger question for the people of Kogi State would be, have their lives been better since this president came into power? Of course, the answer is solely at their discretion and depending on how life has been for them. I tried to look at the statistics for the job unemployment rate in Kogi State, but unfortunately under the new methodology, it's difficult to really ascertain because if you look at it, it's saying they are doing maybe 3%, 4%, and we all know that it's not 3%, 4% because most of it will fall under the informal sector. How prosperous are the young people in Kogi State? Do they feel that the APC administration has favored them? It's up to them. I'm not here to answer the questions for them. If they feel so and they've decide that because of that, take my money, chop my money, take my money. It's up to them. But the truth at the end of the day is that with all of these support that is happening for the president, the most important thing is that can the people enjoy the dividends of democracy? That is the best campaign slogan for any leader.
That's it.
Yes, well, I'm not sure if we should be talking about campaign slogans before campaign has officially been launched by the officials, but here we are. Now to another story where Anthony Joshua has broken his silence for the first time since losing his two best friends in a tragic car accident on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in December last year. In a vlog post across his social media platforms, he shared a touching video where he paid tribute to Shina Gami and Latif Lats Ayodele and thanked all those who have shown him love and support during this time. In a write-up on Instagram, he thanked Lagoon Hospital Ikoyi, Dr. Ogunyokin, Dr. Tosim Majekodumi, and Dr. Nina Loo for their care. He also thanked his uncles Femi Otedola and Alhaji Aliko Dangote, who he said went above and beyond in offering logistical support. Joshua also appreciated Senator Daisy Danjuma, Honorable Commissioners of Health in Ogun and Lagos States, IGP of Police Kayode Egbetekun, and Commissioners of Police in Lagos and Ogun States. He thanked President Bola Tinubu for commissioning a team to step into his rescue, as well as Governors Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Dapo Abiodun for their personal involvement.
One day my time will come, and I'm not scared either, at all. It's actually comforting knowing I've got two brothers on the other side. I've lost people before, but I don't think I've lost people like that, my left and my right, Throughout this journey that I've been on, it's not easy. I don't think I mentioned the love and appreciation. It's all acknowledged by me, by them, by their families. 100%. We acknowledged the thousands and then maybe going into millions around the world that showed so much love to them both.
Well, a very heartfelt message from Anthony Joshua, and I can't imagine how difficult, this would have been for him. Rufai, I'll come to you because I know you've been consistently very vocal about, the trauma around what Anthony Joshua may be going through.
I mean, grief is still speaking. Yeah. That's just it. But I'm happy Anthony Joshua has been able to come out to verbalize his grief. It's a very sad one for him. These are his brothers. And he has thanked all those in authority. But till date, we have a case going on in court as regards the driver. Apart from the driver, the question is, what are the other investigations we need to do? Can we even check the state of the car? Can we even, despite this, has it improved our accident emergency and response? I would gladly say no. It's only the taste of the pudding is in the eating. Yeah. It's only when you are caught on the expressway and you call emergency. Till today, as we speak, the Nigerians still have a number to call when there's an emergency on the expressway. Has he improved the state of play of things? Have we had other accidents? Yes, we've had other accidents. The difference is just that it's not affected Anthony Joshua, maybe unknown Nigerians. So apart from Anthony Joshua, and I'm happy he's beginning to get on the bounce, but the most important thing is, have we learned any lesson? We don't learn any lesson, Vimbai. That's the problem. And that's why the same thing police did in SARS. That's exactly what they were trying to do with these protesters again. So we've not grown since there. And you see, a country that doesn't learn lessons 14 years down the line and everything, you begin to become worried for the prospect of that country. Will this country make it through? Will it be able to sail through? Are we not going to come back here and talk about the problems we were talking about 40 years before now? And I think that's the challenge with Nigeria, except something shifts. And why I speak passionately is that I don't see things shifting. I still see people that have access and resources take advantage of every system in this country. And if you have that, you only have countries for the privileged people. A former American president once said, a country that values privilege over virtue will soon lose both the privilege and the virtue. Nigeria has become that country that values privilege over virtue.
Well, we'll still be here fighting the good fight.
Small footnote.
Very briefly.
I understand where the champion is coming from, that his driver should not be prosecuted and all that. I would have loved a situation whereby at least the driver is put in the dock. Because part of the problem we have is these drivers. And questions will be, does he have a driver's license? Was he under the influence? what was the condition of the vehicle? Because we need to do something also about these drivers. Have you not seen Nigerian drivers who will tell you that they didn't go to driving school? He will say, I just started driving one day and I became an expert.
Many.
Each time you hear that kind of thing, you just feel like, oh, this person wants to commit suicide. He should not carry me along. So something about, the processes.
The question is, how did those drivers get the driver's license in the first place?
That is assuming that many of them have driver's licenses. Some of them drive without licenses. Number two, the owner of that stationary vehicle that caused the accident. Now, in some other parts of the world, if your vehicle has a problem and is on the road, within minutes, it will be moved out of the way where it can cause a problem for other road users. Yeah. But in Nigeria, in fact, sometimes you find stationary vehicles right in the middle of the road, and there will be no safety consideration. The third point, quickly, is that it is very encouraging to hear Anthony Joshua commending both the Lagos State government and the Ogun State government, and also the governors of both states and others. Because, in Ogun State, there is an outstanding matter about one lady called Just Adetong, who has been having a running battle with the governor of Ogun State and the Ministry of Health in Ogun State, saying that Ogun State has no ambulance and that Governor Abiodun was away in Ghana doing some other things. But now Anthony Joshua has shed some useful light on the responsibility of state governments and how Lagos and Ogun State stood up to be counted. Absolutely.
And I think many will just say, let it not be a response that is reserved for the privileged. Now, let's take a look at a surprising development where, in an exemplary case of practicing what you preach, passengers aboard an Ibom Air flight from Uyo to Abuja were pleasantly surprised on Wednesday afternoon when Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umeno opted for the state-owned commercial airline over his private jet. Well, he personally greeted travelers and shared gift packs throughout the flight. The governor used the opportunity to make an in-flight address to passengers where he commended the airline's consistency and professionalism, and he thanked passengers for their patronage. He also promised to always fly with the airline anytime his schedule permits.
How are you, sir? Thank you so much. Such a pleasure to be here with you this afternoon. I just thought we could ride from this flight to Abuja and take the opportunity to thank every one of you for your work, for the good work you're doing, first of all, on your air and ensuring that we remain the one airline in Nigeria. Then thank all our passengers for their trust, for their love, for their patronage. So this afternoon, government team, nothing for you. Thank you.
All right, well, a nice sight to see, but I know a lot of people are also saying that during campaign period or election period, we see a lot of our elected officials flying commercial. Ayo, you'd made a point that
Kersama flew British Airways to China, so maybe this should be an encouragement to governors, even the president, to fly commercial. It helps to also boost the revenue of the the airline. 100%. So please, let's do that.
Okay, let me not talk because if I talk, I will break the table.
Don't break it, it's okay.
Save your table breaking for another story, because we are now going to Abuja, where new videos being circulated from a Pro-Wike rally are causing mixed reactions on social media. In the footage, a man dressed in religious clothing leads the rally, saying that the group is here on their own volition. The group carried placards and posters that say FCT supports Mr. Project. As the cleric also says that because of Wike's leadership, Abuja will turn into the United States in just a few years. Let's take a look.
If you have eyes, you can see that Wike has done great work in Abuja. We pray that the Honorable President will continue to sustain Wike for the next 8 years. Abuja will become the United States. We pray for long life. We pray for sound health. We pray for protection.
Let's go to X. here tweeted and said statements like this always grab attention. Politics, prophecy, and public sentiment mix in a way that sparks debate. Regardless of the rhetoric, the focus should be on governance, policy, and tangible impact rather than threats or predictions. Actions speak louder than words. The last tweet from Niger Overthinker says, so Abuja will become United States by prophecy, not policy. Interesting development plan. Pastor Ayo, is it by prophecy? That's Abuja. No. Speak it into existence.
No, you don't just speak. Even the Bible says faith without works. No. Even the Bible says faith without works is dead. You speak and you act. You had to match your faith with actions. And, this is coming on the heels of the protest by civil servants in, saying that he wasn't, that they did not enjoy good leadership from him, salaries aren't paid on time, and so on. And I think it's high time. We talked about how there's responsibility with influence, where religious leaders are sometimes used to come out to speak for or against a particular thing. I think it's important that there's a line, on that. But because this is how the Pro-Wike rally, the most important thing is that let him show working. That's all. Let the people of Abuja, not through protests. I talk about protests here and there, some of them sponsored, whether for or against.
It's an economy.
It's an economy now. And it just shows that people are poor in the nation. But I think very important that it's the people that will speak up. The civil servants have spoken up and they have voted no confidence in him. So let us see action more than words. It's not just about coming out to speak out and say things like this.
My own is just why always the bishops? You remember leading up to the last election, there was a group of bishops.
Clerics for hire. It's a very embarrassing thing. I would like to add that the Christian Association of Nigeria should speak up, whether this man is a member of the Church of Nigeria or not. And also, if you look at that cassock that he's wearing, it looks familiar. I hear that that's what Monsignors in the Catholic Church wear. Will a Catholic Church priest wear sunglasses, dark sunglasses, and also carry a megaphone, getting involved directly in politics? So the Catholic Bishops Conference also needs to speak up to identify this man if he's one of their priests, and if he's not, to issue a disclaimer, because the church is being used, to play politics, and these clerics for hire, the security agencies need to investigate who hired them, how much were they paid, and where did they disappear to.
Well, like I said, as we get closer to elections, we'll see this economy continue to flourish. Staying in Abuja, a new video is trending on social media which shows an angry mob violently accosting two suspected one-chance operators. The incident took place on Thursday in the Berger Bridge area, and in the video, a large crowd gathers to attack both suspects on the side of the road. Let's take a look.
Now one chance. One of them. Break the glass. Where they are there? See face for here. No pressure. See face for here. See him. See his face. No, not kill him. Not kill him. Not kill him. Where are you going? Where are you going? Come back here. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Where are you going? Sit down. See the other one. See the other one. Where the people they see for on our hand? Where the people they see for on our hand? Yesterday, I have to send somebody to hospital. Yesterday. Yes.
Well, online, some have said that the police should have intervened, while other users angrily spoke about their own experiences with one-chance operators, calling out the sharp recent uptick of one-chance incidents in Abuja. In the video where they were actually being apprehended next to their car, you could actually hear one of the people beating them, saying, you have put other people through worse. But again, we do not support violence, mob justice, jungle justice here at Arise News, and we hope the relevant authorities will intervene in this issue. Now, let's take our final stories. And our final story under Milestones, where this Sunday, the Nigerian Afrobeat legend Fela Kuti will become the first African to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Grammy Awards, almost 30 years after his death at the age of 58. Well, Fela was born Olufela Olusegun Olodotun Ransom Kuti in Abeokuta. His introduction to music came early, learning piano and drums while also leading his school choir. By the 50s, he moved to London to study medicine but attended Trinity College of Music instead. In the 60s, he formed a band called Kula Lobitos, pioneering a unique sound called Afrobeat, which became renowned for combining high life, jazz, funk, and traditional Yoruba music. After touring the US in the 80s, Kuti released an album called Beasts of No Nation. As Fela's career grew, his lyrics became increasingly politically charged, and he would often speak about greed and corruption, which led to multiple arrests. Defiantly, Kuti used these experiences as inspiration to write more music, producing roughly 50 albums throughout his career, including globally acclaimed hits such as Beasts of No Nation and Water No Gets Enemy.
Animal must talk to human beings. Give them human rights. I beg you, make you hear me very well. I beg you, make you hear me very well. Go someone to the shake, oh malomio, nothing without water. Go someone to the shake, oh malomio, oh me you water, oh me you water. If you fight them unless you wonder.
What's your favorite? Water.
A repertoire.
Okay, that's your favorite. Okay.
No,
No.
what I just want to say quickly is this.
Yes.
This, I know, governments will be writing messages now congratulating the heroics of Fela. These were the same governments that put Fela in jail then. You see, when you are speaking the truth, you are not recognized at that point. But years to come, your words will ring true. For all of those that castigated Fela and everything, not that I agree with everything he said, today, Abamieda is a legend. Where are they today? Keep speaking the truth. It's an indication for all of us. Speak the truth. Ikira Fumbaba, Ikira Fumbaba, Ikira Fumbaba.
Truth outlives you. It's a legacy. And I think one of the things I want to say today is to thank my dad, who introduced us to the music of Fela. We listened to Fela like an anthem every single day growing up. So shout out to Mr. Thompson for giving us that rich heritage and the songs. It's prophetic and it outlived him. And unfortunately, some of the messages are still relevant till today. His song about the United Nations, with the one dash us human rights, which you just play, is still relevant till today. And unfortunately, some of the challenges that he highlighted in his music are still relevant today.
It was Horace who said that life is short, but art is long. True art, that is. So, and that's why true artists live forever. Fela Kuti, gained immortality long ago with the authenticity of his art. And that is why this whole argument about, a young man whose career is still evolving, is better than Fela, it's immaterial. Fela is an avatar, is an icon, is, one of the greatest ambassadors that this country ever produced, that the city of Abeokuta in Egbaland ever produced, that Ogun State ever produced.
And the Lagos State.
It will continue to live forever. It was in Lagos State that you people demolished his house.
Well, this is my last outing for this period on What's Trending. Oji Nika Oji Okwe. We'll be back on Monday. It's been so much fun, and I hand over the baton to the Queen of Umukwata when she returns on Monday.
Excellent job. Yeah.
And this is where we draw the curtains on today's edition of The Morning Show.